All right, it's day 2752 or 7.53 years of this Growing Joshua Trees from Seed series. And I'm doing some routine maintenance here. I'm just clipping away with this leverage pair of scissors to get rid of all these old, really tough blades or leaves that are just sagging on top of the rim of this pot. So I did the transplant a few months ago, and basically this thing, I can't really tell whether it's taken off. It seems to have had an explosion in new foliar growth towards the top, but I'm not too sure that wouldn't have happened regardless of whether I had transplanted or not. But my feeling was that the root system was getting too big for the old pot, and what you saw previously when I did the transplant was the root system was sort of hamstrung by the shape of the pot and the depth and also the width as well. So the roots seem to go in, aside from the tap root, just in different angles, like maybe 30 to 40 degrees, 30 to 45 degrees, something like that, fanning out as they go down. And the roots that hit the sides of that pot that I had it in for most of its life would then go down. But then, as you saw when I did during the transplant, when I showed you the root system, some of the roots looked like they were rotting or unhealthy, sort of brownish. There were a lot of beautiful reddish roots, but the whole thing should be like that. There shouldn't be any roots that are sort of like brown and soggy looking, not really taking up water and just dying. So I believe the last pot and soil volume that this was in was quite limiting. Also, despite my best intentions, it doesn't seem like the sand and clay soil mixture is necessarily as breathable or as permeable as I would like for water and oxygen. So I'm hoping this coco coir really helps. And, day 2759, I decided to apply more of this Bear by Advanced 3-in-1. So it's been a few months since I made a fresh dilution. I had a spray bottle in the sink underneath that I had with diluted Bear 3-in-1. And that was, I used it every once in a while on some of my other plants. I don't think the Joshua tree is in any danger from anything really. It doesn't have mold problems. It has scale insects, but it's not like the plant can't live with even with a colony of scale insects on it. But I've seen a real reduction in their numbers. I've seen some, but I just use the old blades that I clip off to just like scratch them off and whatnot. And their numbers are really under control compared to the early years of this series. So I'm adding enough to make about 2 gallons of this, and then I'm going to spray it all over my plants. So it's been a long time since I used this treatment. I did buy one of the suggested pesticides that a viewer commented on, but the warning labels are frankly kind of scary for some of those things. So I decided to stick with this for now, and if it's not enough, I can move on to something stronger. But the Joshua tree is very tough out of all my plants. You can see the mango. It still looks really healthy at this point, the Alfonso mango, but ran into a tough spot. Most of my plants, aside from the Joshua tree, ran into a bit of a dormancy during winter due to the cold weather. There are fruit trees that aren't supposed to be in this climate, except for the lemon. The lemon seemed to have recovered relatively well. Actually, the mango did relatively well too. So I have this new shower wand that I got from Lowe's, and you can adjust the water flow and use it to shower your plants as you would, when you're taking a shower yourself. And it's great for watering. It's very gentle. It doesn't cause the coco coir to spill all over the ground and spill out the other side from the pressure. And it's just great overall for washing and watering things. So it also reduces the amount of strain I had from holding a hose in that green watering pail that I had. that has over 2 gallons of capacity, or 1.75 gallons. So day 2822, I keep forgetting to mention in my other recent updates that I got a gimbal for Christmas season, and my video footage is much more stable than by hand now, and it's also a lot less straining to shoot. So it's the same as with garden hose wand attachment. I can just hold onto a stick with both arms and achieve great stability and not have arm fatigue or back fatigue from holding awkward positions for very, very long, or a very heavy watering pail in awkward positions with just like 2 or 3 fingers for the duration that I'm watering everything in the front yard. So I think the new leaves look great. It's like this burst of foliage at top, and will it ever accelerate and start to get really big, really fast? I don't know, because I can't imagine that this plant in nature would just fool around for that long and just grow like 1 inch a year. I think I did read reports, if I'm not remembering things incorrectly, like I think it's like 2 or 3 inches per year for the first few years, and then it slows down. It's like, are you kidding me? It really doesn't get slower than this. So, but you can see when I spin the pot, actually the whole thing kind of wobbles. It's because this is no longer in sand and clay soil all glued together by the clay. It's sort of a very, coco coir is very soft and porous. So it's excellent at holding things in position, but at the same time, there is a little bit of give from vibration or when you're moving a pot around, or you're like applying pressure to the trunk or whatever. It's going to shift or bend a little temporarily, but I don't think the roots are in any danger. So I think this plant is doing great. I really wish it could grow faster, but it's just the nature of the Joshua tree. It's just taking its time in timeless desert normally. Well, this is more of a chaparral climate that it's not naturally found in, because it's lower elevation near the sea. And Joshua trees typically grow 2,200 feet and up. I think that's around 700 meters or higher above sea level. And the reason is because at higher elevations, the climate is colder, so the ground doesn't evaporate as fast, the moisture in the ground. And once you go to too low of an elevation, you stop seeing Joshua trees. Going out of Joshua Tree National Park, but there's also like the SEMA Dome, which I've shown you footage of in episodes past. So it's been a really long time, and I think there are more leaves on the way. It does seem like the trunk is bending a little. That's despite my best efforts to rotate the pot every once in a while to keep this from curving in one direction excessively due to heliotropism, which can still happen outside, although it should be much of a lesser effect than compared to indoors when using artificial light sources. So overall, it's quite straight. This base trunk that has bark, I want that to extend and get a little thicker. I want the whole thing to be more robust. Hopefully it's going to take off, but it's already been in full sun for, at this point, close to 15 months, and I was really expecting more growth, but yeah, I guess we won't see the full effects until much later, because the leaves that we're seeing right now, maybe those were leaf primordial or in development like last year or something like that. I mean, they're coming out of this funnel, right? So maybe we won't see a change until later in 2023 this year. So other than that, yeah, it's got a real big pot to itself, but it doesn't quite resemble the Joshua trees I see in the wild, and some people have said this is another more inland variant, the kind that you might see around Las Vegas. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, there's really no way for me to accurately judge or make a call on that since I've been growing this thing indoors for yeah, basically 6 years, 6 plus years. So yeah, I have no way of knowing what this would have looked like in a more natural environment with full sun. And I've changed the growing medium a bunch of times. So I realize some of you really look forward to updates from my Joshua Tree series, and you've been watching from the very beginning. So thank you very much for supporting my channel for all of these years. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I guess I did expect that I would be doing this for this long, but I have some other seeds or new plant series incoming. So hopefully that will breathe some new life into this channel. But this Joshua tree will always be a fixture to my channel. And hopefully if I have some open space, some land someday, I could just plant it in the ground. Or, you know, if I were ever to move away to an entirely different climate, I could just make the trek out into the desert and just plant this in the ground in a suitable location where I think it'll survive. Thanks for watching.